All right, you have the Magician. The Magician has the ability to manifest anything they want. This is basically saying, look, you have the tools to get anything you want in life. It's just figuring out how to use them or putting them towards the use or towards, what you want, figuring out how to take the information or take the energies or whatever it is for you that you have and guiding it towards what you want or what you would like to see happen in life. The Magician is basically like, hey, I can pull the rabbit out of the hat. I just need to figure out how to do it. And you will figure out how to do it. It means a better source of, life power, if you will, or a better source of energy, if you will, for you going forward. Understanding that what you want is tangible. It's just how you go about getting it. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month, and you have the Six of Cups or Six of Potions. This is the ultimate reconciliation card. The Six of Cups talks about nostalgia. It talks about an energy of, the past and possibly coming back to the past or thinking about the past. So this definitely tells me, Aries, if you have not spoken to the past, if you're not dealing with the past, you will be at some point, or they will be reaching out to you. I feel like they've been knocking at your door. Even if you've ghosted them or they've ghosted you, somehow communication will come in. Somebody unblock somebody or whatever the case may be. The Six of Cups talks about that reminiscing, that wondering what this person is up to, but without all of the negativity, without all of the toxicity involved. This is looking back and reminiscing on, do you remember that, vacation we took? Or do you remember that restaurant we used to like? Or do you remember that time we laughed for hours about the situation that happened? So definitely something from the past or someone from the past is showing up here this month in December. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month, and you have the Ace of Needles or the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, though, is logic, it's clarity, it's power. So this is saying whoever's coming in, you already know, or you've pretty much cleared the air as far as in your own head as to what you want. Where do you see the situation going? Is it going to be pleasantries of, I hope you have a great holiday. I hope you're doing well. To that extent, or is it going to be more of, I missed you. I care about you. There's going to be some exchanges between you and this person, definitely from the past, but the Ace of Swords is saying you already see clearly kind of whether you would give this person a chance or not. Now, some of you may be a little confused or maybe on the fence, and it may depend on how this person shows up and how they present themselves. But the Ace of Swords talks about you've made some decisions already internally based on the situation or this person. It's almost as if you knew that this closure had not happened, or you knew that this connection was still there. So it was inevitable this was going to come to fruition, that communication would happen. The next card you have is your distant past, over the past 5-10 years, and you have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is Sagittarius' card, so you could be dealing with a Sag or have Sag placements in your chart. The Temperance card talks about patience, talks about self-belief. It talks about moderation. It's definitely, this coming up from your distant past is saying, before, if this person came towards you, it would be like, they text me immediately, like, yeah, this means we're getting back together. But now, having this Ace of Swords and this power, this clarity, is almost as if you're saying, no, I'm turning the tables. Aries is turning the tables and saying, I'm not going to jump right back into this with you. I'm not going to play that game. I need some time to think. I'm going to be patient with this one. This person, it feels as though this person comes in and out of your life a lot, or they have come in and out of your life a lot. For some of you, this is the longest you guys have been apart, or the longest you've had no communication. But the Temperance card, again, is that patience, that moderation. The moderation is important because this is stressing that you give yourself the time to think about things instead of just, we're reconnecting now, so we must be, heading back into that direction. We must be heading back into, where we thought we were going in the past. This time it's going to be different. You're going to address it differently. It's not that you're not going to communicate with them. It's not that there's not a possibility of you guys reconciling. It's more you're taking things slowly and logically thinking about it without just assuming, hey, you're before it was setting yourself up for disappointment to a certain extent, because even though there was a text or there was a, I miss you, or there was whatever it is, there was still an elephant in the room that needed to be addressed, and it never got addressed. So the problem didn't go anywhere. It stayed stable, and you guys kind of, ran around it. This time you're not willing to do that. It's like, let's poke that, egg yolk, let it spill, and talk about things. The next card you have is your immediate past, over the past 2 weeks, past a month or two. And you have the Fool. Man, the Fool card has been coming up for a lot. I think 4 different signs, and 2 signs had it twice. The Fool card is taking a leap of faith, taking a chance. The Fool card is also the beginning of a major arcana. So this is a new cycle, or this is possibility of a new cycle happening. Now, I do feel as though there's an opportunity for a new cycle. Well, no. Let's get this straight. They just adjusted me completely. Like, they literally said, wait, hold off for a second. The Fool card talks about you were on a path of, I think this is completely done. I think I'm moving in a different direction. And then enter some sort of nostalgic energy. Somebody comes knocking on your door. And I don't even mean physically. It could be a text. It could be a message. Somebody, and as I said before, it almost seems like this person has been gone for a long, long time. And now all of a sudden they're showing back up. So you were almost on your way in one direction, and now you're possibly on your way in a different direction, or you're thinking about which path to go on. The Fool talks about, it doesn't matter which direction you go, whichever direction you go, you will find in the end, the universe doesn't shoot you straight in the direction you need to go. As we all know, it kind of goes like this. And you go, but I wanted this apple and you directed me this orange. And then the universe goes, yeah, but you know what? This orange has more vitamin C than this. Like, you get my point. So there's other things at play here. The universe has kind of resurrected this a little bit, because maybe this is not a closed book. Maybe the door is still open here. Maybe there's lessons that still need to be learned. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, this is the second time this card has come up, I believe, in this position, or maybe this position for another sign. The Death card is Scorpio's card, so you could be dealing with a Scorpio or have Scorpio placements in your chart. But the Death card is a rebirth. It's a transformation. It's a change. There's definitely a change on the horizon. Now, whether you and this person get back together, there's a change between the two of you. There's a change in dynamic, because the Magician coming out here is saying, could we make this work? Like, we have the tools. We can communicate now. Maybe enough time has passed that the hurt is gone, or the toxicity is gone. Maybe this person is coming to you from, they're telling me that this person is almost coming from a whole different direction. The way that they approach you, or their demeanor. Now, some of you may get down in the comments and be like, Dark Dove, crap, this person's full of shit again, and I know it. And okay, then that's your story. But for some of you, this person is coming out of left field, out of a direction you never knew. Maybe the Death card is showing the change or the transformation in order to bring this to a rebirth, in order to see. It's almost as if this person is saying, no, like, I get it now. I understand where I hurt you, or I understand what, we need to do to make this better. And it's not a, 1 to tango, it's 2 to tango. So there has to be self-improvement on both sides, or there has to be some sort of recognition on both sides, because it takes 2 to tango, like I said, and it's not just always one person's fault why things fell apart. The next card you have is your immediate future. So throughout the next few weeks, throughout December, and you have the Page of Presents, or Page of Pentacles. Interesting. This is woke. This is, hey, I'm woke. Because the Page of Pentacles talks about, it's right in front of your face. What are you doing? No excuses. You have the answers that you need. The situation is presented to yourself. So in essence, if you love this person and you miss them, and you feel strongly that this is something that you want, or that you guys, should be together, then what are you waiting for? Wake up, grab the bull by the horns and let's go. But it could also be the opposite, in the fact that this is saying, no more excuses and letting this person back in. I don't believe that's the energy here, because again, the Six of Potions, the Six of Cups, that reconciliation energy, and then the Ace of Swords, seeing things logically. Now, the Page of Presents could say that this logic that you're seeing here is that things need to change, period. And we talked about this here, where like I said, somebody may really come out of a different direction and shock the hell out of you. Aries, they may come in and be like, hey, but I did this and I've done that and I totally miss you. And then it's up to you, because you do have the answers you seek. This is, there's no more daydreaming here. This person is not going to come back perfect. Things are not going to be perfect. It's going to take work, as things do. But if you truly love this person, then it's an opportunity that needs to be taken advantage of. The Page of Pentacles presents an opportunity that talks about, if you want me, take advantage of me. And not in a, you get, I'm not saying take advantage of people, but you get like, if this person comes back and you're going, hey, this is really truly something that I think we could evolve with, then, are you going to be stubborn and say absolutely not because of past failures? Or can you move towards the present and maybe, have that vulnerability? The next card you have is anything tangible that's going to happen. This freaking card is going to haunt me, because this card has been in almost every single read. The Justice card, which is Libra's card. So you could be dealing with a Libra, have Libra placements. Maybe Libra is just all over every sign. I don't know. But the Justice card talks about weighing the scales, tipping the scales. Are the scales evenly weighted? This also talks about marriage. So this could be somebody you were going to marry, somebody you thought about marrying. This could be somebody you were married to. Maybe, you're in the process of a separation from somebody you were married to. But this talks about not, I always use this with the Justice card, about not, forming a conclusion based on emotions. This is thinking things through. This is making decisions. This goes along with the Page of Pentacles and the fact that, like, if it's staring you in the face and you want it and you love this person and you want to succeed in trying again, then do it. Then what are you waiting for? Then take a step closer to doing it. But think about it thoroughly and make your decision. However, for a lot of you, I feel like you've thought about this in many different directions. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move back. I'm going to stay steady and not talk to anybody. But this also talks about not rushing. So you don't need to rush into anything. And I don't feel like this person is going to try and rush you. In fact, that may be the difference. They come in this time going, look, I love you. I care about you. That was my hand. Wasn't like, yeah. But like literally this person is coming in saying, I miss you, but I'm going to give you time to think about it. I need you to understand that I understand where you're coming from, or what we lost, or where we need to be, or how we can rekindle this, or how we can both feel secure in this relationship. So give it time, take it easy. There may even be like a marriage proposal here, or somebody proposing some sort of, doesn't even have to be a marriage proposal. It could just be a lifelong partnership proposal, or a proposal of, I'll do better, or I'll try my best. And this can be reverse cross watchers. So I'm not saying that you guys are the bane of their existence and you ruined everything. But again, this is for Aries and their read. Now, the next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the month. And you have the Five of Potions, the Five of Cups, which is sadness. It's grief. It's a loneliness. So you're tired of feeling alone, but you also are worried about getting caught up in the same situation. And you're like, duh, but no, this is serious, because this person really may be coming back with something that you're truly having a hard time wrapping your head around. Before it was like they could give, crap less, and they were showing less interest, and they always had one foot out the door, and the grass was always greener. And now they're coming back saying, hey, Aries, it's been you this whole time. And that's a hard thing to deal with when you felt lonely. So there's this moment, it makes me, it's so hard to explain, because it makes me just want to cry, because it's one of those moments where it's just that moment of, you're here, and yet I've been alone without you, or I've been feeling sad without you. So there's just this emotion that's overwhelming, and it bubbles up in being like, but you were always that person to me, right? And now you're saying this. So you might have this very overwhelming push or emotion that's very hard to deal with in the beginning, Aries, because it almost feels like it's too good to be true. And sometimes you do need to proceed in caution, because sometimes it does come across as too good to be true. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And you have the Four of Potions, or Four of Cups. This is what I'm talking about. Your fear is you're going to be taken advantage of. Your fear is this is going to be a waste of your time, because the Four of Cups represents somebody who's like, it's an apathy type situation. It's, this ship has sailed. They'll never change. Things could never change. And yet you want it. And you guys can get down in the comments and say, I don't want da 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 da, but you're watching a love reading and there's a possibility of a reconciliation coming up. And I'm not going to BS the cards and form it in a way that, that it's not, because having the Six of Cups coming out here in your current position for this month talks about you strongly, nostalgically looking at this person. You know it, I know it. And yes, be cautious. And yes, cry into your pillow tonight or tomorrow or the next night and say, it's not fair because I deserved better back then. But maybe, just maybe, this person is going to bring you better now. The next card you have is your outcome card. And you have the Three of Presents or Three of Pentacles. Now, this is a third party situation. Some of you may have already moved on from this person and may be seeing other people, or some of you may be in the position of you're worried about a third party situation. Now, this person may have left because of a third party situation. They may have involved you in a third party situation. Maybe they're married, but something tells me very strongly that things have changed. Yeah, that there was a completion somewhere, because this third party situation does not feel as scary or as locked down as it did before. For whatever reason, it's definitely coming up in the past, but it does seem like it's something you're worried about. Either you have a third party situation or they did. Again, it feels very past tense though with the World card, because the World card is the ending of a cycle. It's a final completion. It's a major completion. So there's something here that was completed, and now there's a chance for a belonging, an abundance, a satisfaction. Now, again, it's going to take time, and it's going to take you doing this exercise, the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is looking at things lovingly. The Page of Cups is being able to start anew, and in the eyes of negativity, or in the eyes of something that, maybe you've held... you've stared down and said, no, this isn't going to work for me. The Page of Cups says, maybe give it a shot. The Page of Cups talks about maybe seeing it with love again. For so long, you've been used to, seeing it with accusations, or seeing it with problems or different things interfering. But the Page of Cups is somebody who says, I'm going to press on and actually view this with a potential or a loving, a loving aura about it. Then you have the Ace of Swords again, the Nine of Swords. I almost said Ace of Swords, but I meant Nine of Swords. Anyways, the Nine of Swords which is so weird, because when I was shuffling the other deck, like 5 cards pulled out, and one of them was the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is anxiety. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of that other shoe dropping that I talked about, where you can see things clearly here. So I can't say don't do certain things, but this is tying yourself up in knots when it's unnecessary. The Ace of Swords, I keep saying the Ace of Swords, so for some reason, these two cards are connecting big time. This is saying clarity, power. The Nine of Swords is getting in the way of that. The Nine of Swords is your anxiety, your depression, your this Five of Cups coming in, where you're feeling sadness, you're feeling grief, the what ifs, the woulda, shoulda, couldas, all the negativity that you could think of. Don't do that, because you have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands allows you to release that burden. Look, if you miss this person and you love this person, then make magic happen. If you don't want anything to do with this person, you already know that clearly. You're just having a nostalgic moment. You're going to turn a new leaf and move on. But we all know with these cards right here that more than likely there's something very significant that's going to take place. A marriage, a proposal, let me adopt a dog for you. I'd like to move it. There's something big coming here, Aries. And you can ignore it and you can tell me that it's complete BS, then go on your merry way. It's a general read, but there's something significant that's going to happen between you and somebody from the past. You're scared about it. Holy shit. Of course, I would be scared about it too, because this person may have put you through the ringer. But can you just complete the cycle, be done with it, and start something new and release this burden with the Ten of Wands? Then you have turquoise, which is friendship. Shit, if anything, start off as friends. Text, see how each other's doing, check in on each other. Are you alive? Are you doing well? How are the kids? How are you storming everything that's going on? You get my point.